There is a family so wealthy that billionaires barely register in their world. Their fortune is estimated at $1.4 trillion, their power rooted in oil, politics, and control over one of the most strategic regions on Earth. They don't just influence markets, they shape them, and most people have no idea how deep their reach really goes. At the center of this dynasty stands one man, Mohammed bin Salman. In 2017, he didn't simply inherit a title, he took control of a kingdom and began rewriting its future at full speed. Traditions that had stood for decades were overturned. Women were allowed to drive, cinemas reopened, concerts filled stadiums. Saudi Arabia shifted almost overnight, and the world was forced to pay attention. This isn't a story about royalty as you know it. It's about power in its modern form, wealth measured in influence, ambition enforced through action, and a leader willing to reshape an entire nation in real time. If you're here to understand how the richest dynasty on Earth actually operates, you're in the right place, because this is where the real story begins. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Zenith before we begin. With an estimated $1.4 trillion behind him, Mohammed bin Salman operates beyond symbolic wealth. His focus is redirection. Through Vision 2030, he is pushing Saudi Arabia away from oil reliance and towards sectors that generate long-term leverage: technology, tourism, and entertainment. This shift isn't gradual, it's aggressive. One of his earliest moves was a sweeping anti-corruption campaign that reportedly returned more than $1 billion to state control, consolidating both capital and authority at once. At the same time, MBS projects a new image of power. His personal assets reflect speed and dominance rather than tradition, including ultra-rare machines like the Pagani Zonda Riviera and the first-ever Bugatti Chiron. These aren't purchases made quietly. They signal a departure from restraint and a willingness to redefine what modern Saudi leadership looks like. The engine behind this influence is the Public Investment Fund, a state-backed force valued in the trillions, holding positions across global technology, sports, and entertainment. Yet even that is only infrastructure. The clearest expression of his ambition is Neom, a city designed from nothing, built around experimental transport, autonomous systems, and a population projected near 9 million. It's not just development, it's a live test of how a future society might function. It's no surprise that his private life mirrors the magnitude of his authority. Vast estates, super yachts, and residences that feel almost unreal form the backdrop of Mohammed bin Salman's inner world. His ascent hasn't just shifted Saudi Arabia's trajectory, it has reshaped what modern leadership looks like when power, ambition, and scale converge. Yet beneath the strategy and reform lies something even more revealing: the physical footprint of the House of Saud. These are not houses meant for living alone. They are architectural statements designed to embody permanence, dominance, and generational rule. Cross their gates and wealth stops being decorative, it becomes historical. The lineage of Saudi royalty is written into stone, gold, and scale, beginning with Murabba Palace. Constructed in the 1930s for King Abdulaziz, the kingdom's founder, the 32-room complex marked the earliest physical symbol of a dynasty in formation. At the time, it stood far removed from the global power Saudi Arabia would later command. Yet, it laid the foundation for everything that followed. Now preserved as a public museum, the palace holds artifacts, photographs, and ceremonial spaces that document the family's rise. Ornate doors and preserved halls quietly reflect how far the dynasty has come, from simplicity to global dominance. Today, the modern residences of the Al Saud family extend that legacy forward, standing as refined expressions of luxury, authority, and continuity at the highest level. In Riyadh, Al Yamama Palace stands as a physical center of authority. The complex spans hundreds of rooms, anchored by vast ceremonial halls and formal chambers reserved for diplomacy and state affairs. Gold-finished entrances, imported marble flooring, and custom chandeliers frame a setting built for power at scale. When global leaders and royal delegations gather, few locations anywhere match the weight and formality of this space. Yet the reach of the family's real estate empire extends well beyond the kingdom. Outside Paris sits Chateau Louis XIV, one of the most extravagant private estates ever purchased. Acquired by Mohammed bin Salman in 2015 for roughly $300 million, It briefly held the title of the most expensive residence on Earth. Modeled after Versailles, the property includes ornate fountains finished in gold, expansive marble interiors, 12 ultra-luxury suites, a private indoor pool, a grand ballroom, and a wine cellar designed to hold more than 3,000 bottles, a European counterpart to the scale of power rooted in Riyadh. Another piece of the family's international footprint sits quietly in the United States, where a $12 million estate in Virginia adds to the scale of their holdings. The residence features 8 primary bedrooms, multiple bathrooms, a private spa, a full gym, and even an indoor basketball court. Outside, manicured gardens surround the property, while the interiors are finished with antique furnishings, crystal chandeliers, and sculpted gold accents that reinforce its status as a royal retreat rather than a simple home. Imagine waking up in a place designed on that scale, where space and luxury feel unlimited. Would a residence like this feel inspiring or overwhelming? Share your take below. Because beyond these remarkable properties exists an even more exclusive realm, the private world of the ruler behind the dynasty. With unmatched resources and concentrated authority, he hasn't merely lived in luxury, he has redefined what modern kingship looks like in the 21st century. In the modern era, few figures represent concentrated wealth quite like King Salman. When Salman bin Abdulaziz ascended to the throne in 2015, he became the richest individual within the Saudi royal family, with an estimated personal fortune of $18 billion. Behind him stands the House of Saud, a dynasty that has steered the kingdom's fate for centuries, its wealth powered largely by control over one of the world's most valuable energy reserves. Accounts from inside Riyadh describe palaces where gold appears in nearly every detail, from furniture and decor to entire architectural sections, even extending to private swimming areas. The scale of royal life becomes clearer during travel. On one occasion, King Salman arranged a 3-week coastal retreat for more than 1,000 guests, deploying over 400 luxury vehicles to move the entourage. While the royal family stayed in a private seaside villa, hundreds of staff members occupied elite hotels nearby. A 10-vehicle security convoy escorted the aging monarch through destinations like Saint-Tropez and Monaco, where local observers claimed the family even explored property purchases. The king's personal holdings reflect that same magnitude. Among them are a $300 million French chateau, a Leonardo da Vinci painting valued at roughly $450 million, and a super yacht estimated near $500 million. Yet the reach of this wealth extends beyond ownership. During Barack Obama's presidency, the Saudi monarchy presented the former US president and his family with jewelry worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, set with diamonds and rare stones. Even the Obama daughters received ruby necklaces and diamond watches, gifts drawn directly from the inner circle of one of the world's most powerful families. Does this match your image of modern royalty? Hold that thought, because the next chapter moves away from land entirely. We're about to step aboard vessels that redefine luxury at sea, floating strongholds worth hundreds of millions, where saltwater pools and priceless art coexist above the waves. If everything up to this point already feels detached from reality, this is where the scale breaks completely. Because for the Saudi royal family, power doesn't stop at land, it moves. And when it moves, it does so on terms very few people on Earth can afford. One of the most striking examples is a vessel so large it functions like a sovereign zone at sea. Mohammed bin Salman's super yacht stretches longer than a football field and carries a price tag north of $500 million. It's equipped with multiple lands for helicopters, private decks designed to mimic beachfront resorts, and interiors that feel closer to a secure estate than a ship. Inside, higher levels are dedicated to privacy, places where decisions and downtime happen far from any coastline. At one point, this floating fortress even carried a Renaissance masterpiece worth nearly $500 million, turning the yacht into a moving vault of culture and capital. King Salman's own fleet follows a different philosophy, less spectacle, more permanence. His primary yacht was rebuilt to operate for extended periods without relying on ports, staffed to function like a traveling palace rather than a leisure craft. These ships aren't for holidays, they're for continuity, spaces where authority remains uninterrupted, no matter where the horizon sits. Then, there's the vessel that once held the title of the largest private yacht on Earth. Maintaining it costs more each year than most people will earn in a lifetime. But cost isn't the point. For this dynasty, these ships serve a deeper role. They remove dependence. They create distance. They ensure that power never has to slow down simply because geography changes. And yet, even this isn't the ceiling. Because once the engines cut and the gangways lower, the same philosophy carries on to land, where excess doesn't just move fast, it rolls through cities in forms most people will never see up close. Welcome to the automotive world of the House of Saud, where cars aren't transportation, they're statements. With a family fortune estimated beyond $1 trillion, their collections sit in a category of their own. Princes within the dynasty are known for fleets of gold-finished supercars, including Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Rolls-Royces, and custom Mercedes G-Wagons built to be seen and remembered. Others take rarity even further. Private garages hold some of the most exclusive vehicles ever produced, one-of-one hypercars, limited Bugattis, and Ferrari and Aston Martin models, so scarce they rarely appear outside museums. These aren't impulse buys. Each car represents access, taste, and a level of influence where scarcity itself becomes a form of power. But the spectacle doesn't end on the road. When the engines stop, the same philosophy moves upward. Customized private jets replace commercial airspace with total autonomy, transforming travel into a controlled extension of status and authority. For Saudi royalty, excess isn't just display, it's infrastructure. And yet, luxury is only one layer. Alongside these displays runs a quieter strategy. Massive investments in culture, heritage, and global initiatives turn wealth into legitimacy and influence far beyond the Middle East. This dynasty doesn't just spend, it positions. With thousands of family members and hundreds of princes, the House of Saud is more than a royal family. It's a system of power built on oil, reach, and long-term control. The question isn't whether this is excess, it's whether it's the blueprint for modern dominance. This is what power looks like when wealth has no ceiling and influence has no borders. The House of Saud isn't just living in luxury, it's shaping how modern power moves, spends, and survives. If you want more stories that go beyond headlines and inside the world of real dominance, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.